Here lay temporal riches, secular authority, and that most powerful of all mystic talismans, the divine authenticity of Muad'Dib's religious bequest. In these twins, Leto and his sister Ghanima, an awesome power focused. While they lived, Muad'Dib, though dead, lived in them. These were not merely 9-year-old children. They were a natural force, objects of veneration and fear. They were the children of Paul Atreides, who had become Muad'Dib, the Mahdi of all the Fremen. Muad'Dib had ignited an explosion of humanity. Fremen had spread from this planet in a jihad, carrying their fervor across the human universe in a wave of religious government whose scope and ubiquitous authority had left its mark on every planet. Yet these children of Muad'Dib are flesh and blood, Stilgar thought. 2 simple thrusts of my knife would still their hearts. Their water would return to the tribe. His wayward mind fell into turmoil at such a thought. To kill Muad'Dib's children! But the years had made him wise in introspection. Stilgar knew the origin of such a terrible thought. It came from the left hand of the damned, not from the right hand of the blessed. The ayat and burhan of life held few mysteries for him. Once he'd been proud to think of himself as Fremen, to think of the desert as a friend, to name his planet Dune in his thoughts and not Arrakis, as it was marked on all the imperial star charts. How simple things were when our Messiah was only a dream, he thought. By finding our Mahdi, we loosed upon the universe countless messianic dreams. Every people subjugated by the jihad now dreams of a leader to come. Stilgar glanced into the darkened bedchamber. If my knife liberated all those people, would they make a messiah of me? Leto could be heard stirring restlessly in his bed. Stilgar sighed. He had never known the Atreides grandfather whose name this child had taken, but many said the moral strength of Muad'Dib had come from that source. Would that terrifying quality of rightness skip a generation now? Stilgar found himself unable to answer this question. He thought, Sietch Tabur is mine. I rule here. I am a naib of the Fremen. Without me there would have been no Muad'Dib. These twins now, through Cheney, their mother and my kinswoman, my blood flows in their veins. I am there with Muad'Dib and Cheney and all the others. What have we done to our universe? Stilgar could not explain why such thoughts came to him in the night and why they made him feel so guilty. He crouched within his hooded robe. Reality was not at all like the dream. The friendly desert, which once had spread from pole to pole, was reduced to half its former size. The mythic paradise of spreading greenery filled him with dismay. It was not like the dream, and as his planet changed, he knew he had changed. He had become a far more subtle person than the one-time Sietch chieftain. He was aware now of many things, of statecraft and profound consequences in the smallest decisions. Yet he felt this knowledge and subtlety as a thin veneer covering an iron core of simpler, more deterministic awareness, and that older core called out to him, pleaded with him for a return to cleaner values. The morning sounds of the siege began intruding upon his thoughts. People were beginning to move about in the cavern. He felt a breeze against his cheeks. People were going out through the door seals into the pre-dawn darkness. The breeze spoke of carelessness as it spoke of the time. Warren dwellers no longer maintained the tight water discipline of the old days. Why should they? When rain had been recorded on this planet, when clouds were seen, when 8 Fremen had been inundated and killed by a flash flood in a wadi. Until that event, the word drowned had not existed in the language of Dune. But this was no longer Dune. This was Arrakis, and it was the morning of an eventful day.